Hello and welcome to this edition of the Real Fast Results podcast. So pleased that you are here today. We got a really, I think, super interesting show, interesting from a lot of different viewpoints, not the least of which is AI and how AI can potentially make you more money, actually add to your bottom line, your income, and hopefully the goal is to have you have a better, more abundant life. And on deck is my longtime friend and the person that I've been working with for the last couple of years. I know some of you are thinking, well, where you been, Daniel? Well, I've been working with Dan Hollings and the plan and all the great folks over there for the last couple of years. And in fact, as a part of that work, we have been developing something really, really unique in the AI space. And we'll get to that. We'll talk a little bit more about that here in due course. But before we do, I want to bring Dan on to chat about some of the great things that we could do with AI. Some of the things that really can amplify our own efforts and our own businesses, regardless of your business. Even if you're not in business, even if you're more interested in side hustles or more interested in using AI to increase your production with your books or your courses or whatever it is you're bringing to market. So with that, thanks, Dan, for agreeing to come on. As you know, I'm a big fan. I love working with you. And let's start off by chatting about how AI actually has developed into sort of a passive income 2.0 opportunity.
Well, and by the way, thanks. It's a pleasure being here. What you guys don't know is I'm actually on vacation right now, and I came back specially just to do this podcast with Daniel. And so if I seem really super relaxed today, that's because I'm on vacation. But anyway, AI, AI is interesting because it was like on nobody's radar whatsoever. I mean, I wasn't thinking about it, a year and a half ago. And all of a sudden, this thing, Chat GPT, it took me a while to even be able to pronounce that. It just rolled out into the marketplace, and it took off to such an extent that if you compared it to other things that rolled out, like the internet or all the various real popular apps on the internet, this thing just blew away the number of people that signed up for it. Now, yeah, it was free, but it wasn't that made people sign up for it. It was what it could do. And it was, on the one hand, like extremely exciting and compelling to think that this application online could do things that many humans can't do. I mean, it could write and do music and it could do all kinds of stuff. On the one hand, it's doing that, and on the other hand, you're thinking, wow, that's really great. And on the other hand, you're thinking, gosh, is this going to take away my job? Is this going to take away my business? Is this going to be able to do stuff, and reduce perhaps my opportunity in the world? And Daniel and I and the rest of the team got together, and we said, no, if this thing is put together right, it could be used if it's put in the hands of people in a way where they could, deploy it to work for you. And I mean, we didn't have much more idea than that. We just knew that we've got a lot of power here in a technology that can do a lot of high intellect, high skill things better than many humans. And we thought, what if we could set it up so that there was a way to empower us to use it, and to use it for what? To create online revenue, to create money and what have you. And so that's what we set about doing. And that's where we've ended up at this time. So I don't know if I answered your question there, but that's kind of the way we got into this. And then many things fell into place that perhaps we'll talk about. But.
For sure. And the really great thing is from the standpoint of production. And that, I mean, I've always struggled with that. The work that I've been able to do in my own life has always been, or I've tried to always make it anyway, some high quality stuff. But it took lots of effort and lots of mental bandwidth and time and energy, right? And that's one of the things that it was so compelling when we all sort of figured out, oh my gosh, this AI stuff could really help, because it kind of gets you on the it takes away that cursed blinking white cursor, right? That when in a blank page, where you're just having to sit there and you're like, okay, what do I write? What do I create? And it takes all that away, like in an instant. And that's the thing that is so compelling about it, from my standpoint. And that's one of the things that I know that we've been working with our own AI stuff. But here's the thing. You could, and we have, in fact, deployed some of this technology for setting up set it and forget it income streams. And I'd like to kind of chat about that, Dan. What do you see as the best ways of using AI to create set it and forget it income streams?
Well, here's the thing. All right. It's like there are a number of proven ways to make money online. Okay. And both you and I and many people know about these ways. In other words, you can make money by selling products or services, writing books. There's various ways to go about making money online. But what happens to people is they either don't have the staff to put it all together, or they don't have the money to put it all together. And when I say put it all together, I'm talking about when you want to sell a service or product online, you have to have a way to market, to get customers. You have to create the product. You have to have follow-up emails and a marketing funnel and a way to handle customer support. I mean, it's a whole business. And to do something like that, regardless of what the product, service, or book might be, it takes help. It takes time. It takes money. It used to be when I'd come up with a good idea, and believe me, I've got a closet full of great ideas that I never implemented because I didn't have the staff or the time or the money to do it. Yeah, amen. Right? Everybody's got that. And so what this opened the door for was the ability to have AI come in and take care of all of those things. Number one, it can be your staff, because it can do many things that your staff might do if you had one. It doesn't cost much money to do it, so you don't have to worry. I mean, it used to be you want to put a project out there, geez, $5,000, $10,000, $50,000, $100,000. I mean, it was a lot of money to get things up, and then time. I mean, just take writing a book, whether it's a children's book or other. 6 months, a year. I mean, Daniel and I have both written books, and it can take a long time. I mean, now you look at AI and it can write a book like within hours. Okay. Now it doesn't mean it's going to be a great book, but it has that capability. And so back to my original, what I was started with was this, is that there are already proven ways to make money online. So what if you could get AI to just follow those proven steps, kind of like a pathway to these profits? Wouldn't that be magical? And so, I go out to ChatGPT and some other platforms, and I say, oh, help me make some money. And it comes back and it's almost comical. It's like it can't really do that. In other words, it's smart, but it doesn't necessarily know proven ways to make money online and have the capability of doing all the steps necessary to take you from a blank page, like what you talked about, Daniel, all the way to a product or service with the marketing and everything ready to bring in money. And so that's really what was missing. It was like, the missing link, so to speak, is that we had this intelligent capability here. We've got these proven ways to make money online that were either expensive or took a long time or took a lot of staff. How can we merge the two? And that's really what, we went about doing, is like, can we create profit pathways where it already knows all the steps? It takes all of those proven ways that people made money before and just does it faster and less expensive by using AI.
Yeah, it's really quite remarkable that it's true. AI is super powerful on one hand, but it does require guidance, because
Yep.
it is good, but it's not like all knowing. And that's another really interesting point that I love. I have all these great ideas that I have, that would take me, again, the mental bandwidth to decide, okay, I've got a great idea. I think this is going to work. I think people are going to like it. All of that. What should I put my time, effort, and energy into? What's going to have the highest probability of success? And in the case of using, for example, our own proprietary AI, it makes those decisions much easier, because we could do all of them essentially, because we have the help from the AI and the guidance from our own proprietary software to help institute those ideas much, much, much quicker. And as I think we all know, that not everything we come to market with is a bestseller. Not everything is a great success. Which, by the way, begs the question: you need to be coming to market with really good stuff over and over and over again until you find something that hits. So that's the other thing I love about AI, and what we have done actually with our own AI profit pathways training. So, but Dan, let's jump in a little further into this idea of how our own proprietary AI guides people through the process, and why that's so doggone important.
I sure will. I have to comment, though. I told you I had a closet of great ideas. I also have a closet of flops, things that I thought were great ideas back in the day, and I tried them, and I spent money and time, and like 6 months, a year later, I found out that it wasn't really such a good idea after all, which is another thing that AI can do. It can actually go out and do market research and kind of help you to determine if there's an opportunity in the market for the idea that you're contemplating. Is there an audience out there? And if so, how to reach them, and what the product or service might be. So it does all of that. But as far as having this pathway kind of mapped out, the way we've done it with our software, it's like, just imagine, if you take the tried and true proven knowledge of experts who have been in the field and have made money online and know exactly how it's done. The only challenge is that the way it was done before in the past took time, specialized know-how, money, and staffing in most cases. You take all of the hurdles out of that, and you just run with the idea, and you have all the steps that were necessary. Then you have AI basically take care of those steps for you. And that's the magical, matchup that we have here, is taking tried and true pathways to profit, coupling it with AI, which has the ability to do it for less money, less staff, and less time. And that means now, this still doesn't mean that every single idea that AI, helps you with is going to be like a mega hit. But here's the magic of it. I always like to play these back of the napkin, mind games, where you figure out, if I could just come out with a product that would make, I don't know, $100 a week, it doesn't have to be a home run. Wouldn't that be great? Especially if I could make it multiple times. Like, I could layer projects, maybe this project, maybe this pathway to profit makes $100 a week. And then, the following week I can make another one. And you start layering it up, and all of a sudden you're getting, $100 here, $50 here, $500 here, and you start layering that all up. And that, I think, is what opens up as an opportunity here, is because now not every idea is going to be a home run, but even if it doesn't bring in home run kind of money, most ideas will bring in some money, and you just start layering it, because there's the money and the time and the staffing's not necessary anymore, and you don't have to do what I always used to try to do. Think of that one home run grand slam idea where it's going to, make $1 million, just straight away. And it's hard to find those kind of ideas. This is more practical. Let's just go with all kinds of ideas, as long as it's a proven idea, and we can have multiple products, multiple services, and whatever. And the cool part is that AI can help with the creation of the product. It can help with the marketing of the product, to find customers to buy it. As I mentioned earlier, it can do the research before you even get into all of that, to make sure that there's an opportunity in the marketplace for you. It'll help to set up the funnels and the emails, everything. And then it help make sure that it meets the criteria necessary for certain platforms out there, where you're going to sell on Etsy or eBay or Amazon or Instagram, or wherever you're going to put your product out there. It can make sure that it meets the proper criteria. It just takes care of so many things, and can get a project that would normally take 6 months to a year. It can get it up literally in days or weeks. It's a much shorter time to market.
Absolutely. And, that's the other great thing. And really one of the things that makes me so proud to be, have worked on this project and continue to work on this project, is this idea of the cumulative income that you can produce, because it's one of those kinds of things. It's like you say, it's like, it's exponential in its income potential. So, one sale today becomes, maybe 4 sales in a month, and that becomes 8 sales and 16 sales and so forth, and an exponential sort of growth. And that's the one great thing about this, because you can get to market so much faster, right? You can come up with the idea. You could research that idea and make sure that there's an actual demand or potential demand for that idea in the marketplace. You could have the product or book out, and have a buy button out very, very quickly, as you say, with much less time. And the key, the thing that really makes me excited, is it's generally pretty doggone high quality as well. So yeah, that's one of the things that I really get so super excited about, because as you well know, Dan, I know you very much believe this and practice this, but for everyone else listening, if you stand a chance, any kind of chance in the marketplace, you have got to be bringing the best product that you can to the marketplace. It's got to be as good as you could possibly muster. And with AI, it really amplifies that. It really helps you get there much faster. Wouldn't you say, Dan?
I would. And there's an illusion out there. This is what I learned very, very, very early on. Just because you go to an AI platform and it has brilliant capabilities, doesn't mean that it's going to deliver a brilliantly executed, great in-demand product for you. Okay, it's like you can go there. It's funny because you go to these platforms, and when you get to their homepage, most of them have a little input box, and it'll say, "How can I help you?" And that's all it does. It doesn't say, it doesn't like say, are you trying to create a product? What industry do you want it to be in? What kind of audience? It doesn't kind of interview you to try to figure out what you want to achieve. It just says, hey, how can I help you? It's almost like going to a restaurant, not having a menu, and the waiter comes over and says, what would you like to order? And you're going, well, what do you got? It's like you can't go to a platform as they stand today and just immediately create a pathway to profit with a product and marketing and all of that. That doesn't exist, except for the exclusive software that we've developed with this profit pathway technology. So that's the first thing. So in talking about quality, you don't get quality just because you go and use a smart machine or a smart application. It doesn't automatically produce this great, compelling, wonderful product. It has to do with the way you ask the technology to produce its result, and that's through the use of something called a prompt. And I remember when I first heard about that, I said, well, okay, that in other words, it's kind of the old garbage in, garbage out thing. It's like, if you don't ask this intelligence application a smart question, you're not going to get a smart answer. If you don't, put in the proper prompt or question or request to this technology, it's not going to give you back something that'll sell in the market and be of high quality, like what Daniel was talking about. And then I started realizing that this really has to do with prompts. It has to do with the way you interact with this technology as to what it produces. Then I started thinking, well, all I got to do is just have good prompts. I remember I went to Amazon and I said, I'll just buy a book with prompts in it. And there was this one book there, and it had 20,000 prompts I think it was to write a book, and I said, okay, well, no big deal. I'll just get 20,000 prompts and I'll have all the prompts. I can write, a best-selling book now. And then I realized that is as stupid as going to Amazon and buying a dictionary and saying, you know what? It's got all the words in it. All right, it's got all the words in it. So now I should be able to write a great book, right? I'll be like Shakespeare, and then you start realizing that there's more to it than just prompts and words. It really, you have to know how to interact with the software. And that's where, they call them prompt engineers. I mean, companies spend, hundreds of thousands of dollars to hire these people who are experts in communicating, prompting technology to be able to produce back these results. And so we found an incredible prompt engineer, brought them on board, and that's when I started realizing, boy, to get it to do just one thing, you might have to have 10 prompts or 20 prompts, and when you read them, it's not just like, draw me a picture of a tree. It's like, I'd like a picture of a tree in this style with this camera setting and, with this kind of lighting at this time in the afternoon and this month of the year. And I mean, it was like a whole bunch of criteria defining in great detail exactly what it is that you wanted the artificial intelligence to work from. And then, you started thinking, wow, you think about all the steps that there are to go from product creation to an end product, and then market implementation to create a funnel with emails and all of that, and everything else that's necessary to bring a product to market online and also have marketing to have customers. You start thinking about all the prompts that would be necessary. And then I realized why that there weren't a lot of people that were actually, able to do this. It wasn't like just because you've got an AI that all of a sudden you can just go over there. There's this free app online and you could type in something and boom, you're going to be a millionaire next week. Okay. Nothing could have been further from the truth. It was garbage in, garbage out. And so that's why coupling what we have with Profit Pathways software, which already has the prompts built into it. It already has all of the steps and the know-how to put a product online. You couple that up, and us having a prompt engineer and coupling that all up with the technologies out there just became a home run. And on that note, the technologies out there, oh my gosh, first there was ChatGPT. Yeah. First there's ChatGPT, and then I don't even know all the names of them, but there's like 20 or 30 that we interact with. Our software interacts with, because when you have a task that you want done, do you go to ChatGPT or do you go to I forget all the names of them, but which one did you go to? There's so many that are out there, Midjourney and what have you, Gemini. Which one you go to. So what if you had software that when you ask it a question, it'd say, on that particular task, we need to go to, Gemini. On this task, we need to go to Midjourney and go to the various platforms that are necessary. But to try to duct tape that together on your own, to go out there on the raw web and try to figure out which of these 20 or 30 applications you need to use in order to put together a project, and then put all those prompts in there. Forget it. Just forget it. It's not going to happen. And that's why it's so magical. What we put together here is because now ordinary folks like you and I and those people that are watching can come in, and if you got a good idea, for a book or a product or a service or something, you can go in and kind of interact with the software almost like a partner and say, hey, what about this? What about this? And kind of interact with it and end up with a completely researched and developed product with the marketing all there within a very, very short period of time. And guess what? Doesn't have to be a home run. Like I said, you might make $100 it might be $100 a week. Hey, that's $100 a week you didn't have before you did this, right? Then you do another one the next day, and that could be $50 a week. And so what? And you keep doing them, and it's like it's almost a joke, but it's like, think about yourself right now if you're watching this. How many buy buttons do you have out there that could potentially bring you money right now? In other words, many of you probably are selling something. If you're not, then you have no buy buttons. But how many buy buttons do you have out there? Okay, every one of them has a potential to bring you a certain amount of money if somebody were to click it, right, and buy. Well, why not have hundreds or thousands of buy buttons out there and not worry about whether this one brings in $50 or this one brings in $1,000 or what have you? Just keep producing high quality products with marketing and everything in there. And that's the way to go at this. And that's what we've ended up with here.
Absolutely. And, to that point, there is a book called The Long Tail by, I think his name is Mark Anderson. It was a bestseller. And he was the editor-in-chief of Wired magazine, I believe. And did you hear about this, Dan? That he looked at all of these big e-commerce platforms like Amazon, eBay, etc., and noticed, because he graphed out the sales of these things, and noticed that there was, of course, a huge spike in what they would call best-selling products. So it's like it went up, the sales went up, and then they kind of came down, and then it just sort of went on and 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 on.
And that was the long tail,
right? Yeah. That's called the long tail. And in other words, because there are there's no inventory that you have to stock. You don't have to have retail space. You don't have to, rent a stall in a flea market or anything like that. You can have lots of listings on sites like Amazon and Etsy and eBay, et cetera, and do essentially what these sites have done and continue to do, which is to profit off that long tail. Because what Mark Anderson found is that long tail never goes to zero. So in other words, if you have let's say 1,000 products on Amazon, they're going to have some action at some interval, right? Maybe it's every month, maybe it's every day, maybe it's every year, but it's the profit in these platforms is in that long tail, not in the best-selling products, because that's a limited number of products. It's in the long tail. And the other interesting thing, the phenomenon that he noticed was in that group of products, say it's 100 million products, some of them automatically, why? They start to sell better because they're a better fit for the market at that particular time. And that's exactly what I noticed with what I'm doing with my own businesses, that the more products, the more buy buttons I have out there, even if I do practically nothing to market them, like very little, they sort of find their place in the algorithms on these marketplaces, and some of them start doing pretty good, and some of them not good at all. But because of the AI, right? Because of the AI, I could do many of them a day, right? It's not many of them a month or a year like the old days. It's many of them a day. And that
Yeah.
gets me really, really excited, you know?
Yeah. The other thing that goes kind of unspoken or you don't think about is that as you do this, you also have the opportunity to begin to build a list of customers. Now, I know with some platforms, you don't always get to know who your customer is, even though there are kind of back end ways to do this. But nonetheless, if you've got lots of buy buttons out there, some of them are going to be bringing you customers that become customers on your list. And that means that now, instead of selling and just making, a one-time profit off of that customer, once a person has bought from you once, the likelihood that they will buy from you again, increases exponentially because they trust you. They know that they paid, they got the product, it was decent quality, and so if you offer them something else, at least they'll consider it. So as you create these products and you end up in that long tail scenario, not only are you making money, from lots of buy buttons of products that are out there, but you're also building a list, and so therefore you have the opportunity to sell even more products. Everything has changed. I mean, really, everything's changed for those people that get the right tools in their hand. There are going to be a lot of people that are going to just, think this is crazy stuff, and that AI, just, or robots that are going to take over the world and all this, and they're not going to, want to do it, and perhaps lose their job or lose business and stuff like that. And not to be scary here, but that's a real thing that's happening. And there's going to be other people that think that, there's some free way to get out there and just go straight to ChatGPT or go straight to Gemini or straight to, whatever platform you're going to go to, and it'll be able to help me create this stuff. No big deal. But the reality is that doesn't exist. And we spent well over a year. You're talking about a lot of hard work and some brilliant input in there. I mean, myself, I've been marketing for decades, as has Daniel and whatever. And it's like you do learn tricks of the trade, over that time. And so what we've done is we've taken all of that expertise and boiled it down into prompts and given it to the AI, so that the AI, knows these pathways to profit. See, AI doesn't wake up just because it's brilliant and know how to make money. Okay. And if you don't believe me, go over to ChatGPT and say, hey, can you help me make some money? And you'll get a funny answer. All right. It doesn't know how to do that. It's just smart. It has access to unlimited data. And it has the ability to produce things very, very fast and of a quality that's really high if you know how to prompt it, properly. And so what we've done is we've taken all of this knowledge of experts and put it in through prompts into this technology. And so now you're getting the best of both worlds. If you're trying to make money online, if that's a goal of yours, this is a way to do it. And just, I'll tell you up front, if you go in there and you create something and it makes you $1 million straight away, it's like getting hit by lightning. I mean, it's just not likely going to happen. But you can do this thing that Daniel and I are talking about, where you can have multiple layers of products and this long tail of products and services and what have you, that can occur. Before I forget, Daniel, one thing I also want to mention is there's a lot of people probably listening that they're saying, well, this is all fine, if you want to start a business, whatever, but I've already got a business up and running, and the question becomes then is like, can this help me with what I'm already doing? Maybe I don't want to, write a book and become a bestseller and all of that kind of stuff. Maybe I just want to improve what I'm doing because maybe you're into it. And so rest assured that this software is smart enough to do that. And we brought in expertise, to help with that as well. Because think about this, if you've already got a business up there and running, how many times have you thought about, wow, I could augment what I'm doing if I could, create a related product or a related service, or if I could have better follow-up emails coming, to my customers, or just improve everything and do it with less money, less staff, and less time. And so you're covered there. So whether you are starting from blank slate and just want to start making layers of income online, or whether you already got a business that you really love and you just want to be able to move faster and improve it and do it with less money, less time, and less staff, either way, you're going to find that what we put together with these profit pathways is going to accelerate your success to an extent that will surprise you, but you got to give yourself a chance. You got to try.
Absolutely. And I think it probably would be a good thing to kind of cover sort of the big buckets of these or major themes that we have that run throughout the AI Profit Pathways software and software suite, as well as the training. Can we touch on each one of those? And because we have kind of a branding path that's for folks that are just starting out. They really want a brand and a logo and a motto and some market research and that. If you're just really new and you're just kind of getting your feet wet, that's a really great thing. And then we have the promoter path, we have the maker path, and we have the bestseller path. So can you kind of cover each one of those real quick, Dan?
Yeah, the first one that you talked about, it seems like this. Well, that sounds kind of boring. I mean, create a logo or a branding and all of that, as if though it's like, how's that really going to make you money? The point is that it used to be those were the kinds of things that you would set aside and maybe not pay attention to because you were so eager to just get straight into making some money that you wouldn't spend a lot of time on branding and all of that. And I understand that. It doesn't make sense to invest, $500 or $1,000 in a logo if you don't even know your product's going to work yet. And so you kind of, try to go at it cheap on Fiverr or something. That used to be the way. But now it's so easy and so possible to do it right from the get-go that you may as well just go ahead from day one and let's just do this thing, like a Rolls Royce from day one. We don't have to go chucking off in a Volkswagen if we've got a choice. And so you do. And so what's neat about the software is it kind of interviews you not only, to help you with branding and all of that, but also to make sure that you're pursuing something that you really will love. I've always found that like making money online is more fun and easier if it's in the pursuit of something that you're interested in. Maybe you're pursuing, maybe you're into fishing and you want to pursue products that are related to people who go fishing, or maybe you're into, I don't know, knitting or sports or, whatever. It interviews you and helps you to put together a business plan, so to speak, with what opportunities might be best, what paths might be best. And that's all part of this kind of onboarding process. But branding and logos and all of that is kind of built in. But then you move into like the buckets of where like, quote, actual money is sitting there waiting for you to reach your hand in the bucket and grab it if you want to. And we have the three buckets. Okay. And you may have to remind me of the names here, but we've got the maker path, we've got the promoter path, and the creator. Did I get them right?
The bestseller, maker,
bestseller. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Which we're gonna jump into really quickly here, because a lot of my folks are going to be very, very interested in the bestseller path, especially. And we've had incredible success with our students in that path. But go ahead. Let's kind of walk through each one of these.
You'd think I'd know those things, but we just recently changed some.
Yeah, we changed it up.
Make sure. Okay. I need AI just to remember that part. Yeah. So, what we did is this. What we did is we thought of all of the ways you can make money online. Okay. What bubbles to the top as being the best? Like the top 3 or 4 ways of making money online. What would be the best ways so that you could get to money, quicker and easier, rather than, taking a longer, harder path. Okay. And so that's why we ended up with these particular paths. And the one that has received just a lot of notoriety and a lot of interest has been the bestseller path. Because it does allow you to have an opportunity to create a best-selling book on Amazon. A children's books is one, and then we also have a nonfiction as well. But to do it in a way as if though you already had the brilliance of a great writer, and you already had the brilliance of a great marketer of books. And you're coming in, it's almost like you're partnering, I joke, but you're partnering with Steve Jobs and Shakespeare, and they're going to help you write a book. I mean, what a team that would be, right? And that's an exaggeration, but it gives you a feel about what the opportunity is. Certainly, you could write a book if you had and do well if you had Steve Jobs and Shakespeare as your partner. So you come in and you can pursue the path just with a few questions that'll ask you. What type of book or storyline are you interested in? And then the software kind of interviews and interacts with you like a partner and comes back and says, well, what about these ideas? And you pick one and then it elaborates on that. And it's like this interactive process that carries you through so that when you get to the end and you've got in this case, a book, it could be a product or service, but in the example we're talking about right now, it's a book. When you get to the end and you've got the book, it's not just some random book. It's a book that it's kind of from your own creative, mind, and it also will appeal to probably the audience that you had in mind, and so therefore you feel good about it. You feel proud. You're able to do something that you feel you were a part of that creative process, rather than just clicking a button and creating something and you're going, well, I don't want to sell that. This is something that really is a collaboration between you and our software in a way to get products and ideas out. Doesn't mean you have to be a person that's got a million ideas, but it does collaborate with you to make sure that it's something that is of interest to you.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's quite remarkable. So I know for me, I'll have all these ideas that are, for lack of a better word, half baked, for a kid's book or whatever. Like, oh, I'd like a kid that does blah 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 blah, and but the whole story isn't there, right? You just kind of have sort of a little piece of it, just a little half piece of it, and then you could go to our bestseller path and just say, okay, this is the piece I have. Give me some, suggestions on what to fill in. And that is really, really
let me give you a literal example of this, because this actually happened to me. And it kind of gives you a visualization. I have a grandson who he's a smart little guy, but for some reason, when he colors, he just will not stay within the lines. Now, he's of an age where he should start to be doing that. But I don't think that it's because he can't stay in the line. I think that it's because he's just real creative and he just doesn't feel he needs to. He kind of wants to do his own thing, right? And so my wife and I worked with him a lot to try to get him to color within the lines. And it just, he just didn't want to do it. He has another really favorite thing, and that's dinosaurs. What young kid, doesn't like dinosaurs? And he certainly does. I mean, he knows more about dinosaurs than I do, that's for sure. And so I started thinking, I said, well, he won't listen to us, but what if he read a book about a dinosaur and the dinosaur was telling him how he needs to color within the lines? Crazy idea, right? There's no way you're going to go on Amazon and say, oh, I'm looking for a book about a dinosaur that's going to teach my kid how to color within the lines. It's just not going to be there. And I said, well, gosh, it's an idea. And I wasn't looking to create a book to sell it on the marketplace. I was looking for a book to give to my grandson to help him with this task or challenge. And sure enough, it had the ability to take that idea and flush it out and do it with images and the whole bit and create a book, So now he reads this and he's going, whoa, not, if a dinosaur says I'm going to do it, then see. And so it's just, you can take ideas like that and you could use it for your own personal needs, as I did in that case, or you can, create books that you, go down a path and sell it to other people and actually make a profit. But that's how powerful this is to be able to take any idea that you have and then turn it into something that can be a product that sells.
Yeah, I mean, that's a super powerful story, Dan, and just kind of scratches the surface of the potential that's available here. And I do want to cover a couple of the other pathways, because the bestseller pathway is mostly about creating and bringing children's books, like really high quality children's books, to the market, but also the promoter path. Now, this is something that is really, really important, especially for to my mind, long-term success. And you mentioned it earlier, and that is the ability to generate leads for a business, to generate traffic using AI to your, well, any site, including your book site, by the way, right? Including your Amazon listing. So let's chat quickly about the promoter path and what's all available there.
Yeah, well, I mean, what good is it to have a product if you can't generate customers, often referred to as traffic? Traffic are just people coming to your product who may or may not end up buying. And then, of course, if they buy, they become a customer, and then maybe they get on your list. That's really where the rubber, hits the road or meets the road in online business, is being able to promote whatever it is you have. So by having a promoter path available to you, that means, that you're going to receive really good help in generating traffic and securing customers for whatever the product may be. Whether it's the children's book you write, or if it's a product or service that you're already selling, or one that you create. So that was one of the first things, when we started thinking about building this, that we said, look, we can't just create products. I mean, because if you just have a product, it's like the old saying of create the better mousetrap and the audience will come. That's not true. You can also, the mice might not come either. I mean, who knows? So, you got to have more than that. And so that's why we started. Where we started everything was with, well, how do we create traffic? And that's at the core of everything that we do. And how do we find customers and build lists and whatever? So that's available, within the promoter path.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. And just to kind of put a finer point on it, because I worked extensively on every one of these pathways, but I'm most excited about the promoter path, because so many people have so much difficulty generating traffic, qualified leads to their offers, whatever that offer happens to be. And again, in the old days, it used to be one heck of a lot more difficult to create the content that would draw people in, or create the assets. Maybe it's a special report or a checklist or this or that. It always took lots of time, effort, and energy, especially if you're going to do it well. And you were not going to succeed unless you did it well. And again, with this, you're able to do it very, very quickly at a very high quality. In other words, and this is the one thing I love working with you on, Dan, and because I think we're of the same sort of philosophical ilk. In that we both know that whatever we're bringing to the marketplace really has to move the needle for good in the lives of our customers. It's got to, and that is one of the things that you will get out of this, because we try to imbue that right into our into the AI and into the output of the AI as well. Because once again, if you are creating value for your customer, if you are making their life better in some way, chances are they're going to come back to you. They're going to spend more money with you. And you've heard of a vicious cycle. This is more of a delicious cycle, because it just gets better and better and better. Why? Because a lot of folks, they'll try things, and it won't work for them. It will fail. But when they find somebody like you with your approach, with your solutions, and etc., then they're like, oh my gosh, my life is better because of this, right? And because of my association with this person, because I bought this product, or I bought this service, or bought this book, whatever. And once again, because the AI makes it easier for you to add your value and get it out to the marketplace faster and easier, it is quite really a delicious cycle from that standpoint. So I just wanted to kind of put a finer point on that.
Yeah, good point. It's a good
One of
point.
the
You know, there.
Yeah,
Go ahead. I think we're both going ahead. No, what I was going to say is that there's so many things that can be sold out there, whether you have AI create it for you, be it a book, product, or a service, or if you just look at things that are out there. You know, there's a huge opportunity out there of selling other people's products, which was one of the top ways that we saw as well. You know, you look around in the room that you're in right now, wherever you guys are at, and there's probably a dozen, if not more, things sitting around that you could have been you could have received a commission or a percentage on the sale of that product. It's right here on my desk. I've got this globe, okay, and it's kind of an interesting globe because it's you don't plug it in or anything, but the light that's coming in somehow makes this planet go around on its own. And this thing, I forget, it was $200 or $300. I don't even know who makes it, and I'm certainly not trying to sell them. But the point is that you could sell something like that, right? And there's a lot of people that would want something like that. As soon as I saw it, I wanted it, and I bought it. And I'm sure that whatever button or link I clicked out there on the web, somebody probably got, I don't know, probably, $50 off of the sale of this. Okay. And it's like that's affiliate marketing, or, you can become like an associate on Amazon or what have you. That's where you're selling other people's products. And if you have the ability to generate traffic, then you have the ability to become an affiliate marketing and sell things like that. And it's like, you can just now, in a much easier fashion, you can find things that you would be interested in selling, and find things that sell well online, and actually begin to make money, from that. So that's what's so magical here, Daniel, is the fact that we've got multiple pathways, all the way from writing children's books to helping you promote things that you're already doing, to selling other people's products, to creating products and services. I mean,
print on demand, printable.
Yeah, we've got print on demand, printables, creatives. You think about, first you think about, t-shirts and mugs. Let me tell you, I know a lot of millionaires who've got there on t-shirts and mugs. So I'm not going to downplay that, but there are so many other things out there as well, where you can you can now tap into that as a way to make money. It's just amazing. It's like, and one thing I wanted to do, and we worked hard to do this, was to give people a way to come in and see all that we have without feeling that they were really risking much. Because once you come in there, you're like a kid in a candy store, and you think, oh, geez, I could do this, I could do this and this. All of a sudden, the blinders come off, and the restrictions, drop away, and the opportunity just opens up. And then you just sit there and you go, well, what am I going to do today? Okay. And boom, create a product, service, or a book. What am I going to do the next day? Oh, well, I think I'll sell some other people's products and what have you. It's unlimited what you want to do. And you can go at this knowing that you've got a team of experts, around you, people like myself and Daniel. I've got an incredible team here to help you guys. And our whole focus is on trying to make what we have the best that there is in the AI space for people that want to make money online. And I think we've hit a home run. I absolutely think we hit a home run. But with one thing I want you to remember, okay, and this is kind of an old secret from way back. Some people think that as soon as you get something really powerful in your hands like that means that, like, oh, well, gee, this is snap now. I'll be a millionaire, in no time. Okay, hey, it might happen. I mean, it does, but don't plan on that. Just plan on having so much power and creativity and capability, within your reach, that you can start to build something now that could have some true meaning in a short period of time. Okay, but you can build it up. But it's like, nothing's going to suddenly start driving traffic where you're getting 10,000 people at your site, every day. Okay, it doesn't need to be that. Okay, it's like I used to tell people, gosh, if you got 10 people a day, just think that's 10 customers. There are people who have brick and mortar businesses that if they could get 10 people to walk in their store every day, they'd be doing, the happy dance. All right. It's like it doesn't take that many. So get out of your mind the fact that you got to have big numbers. Okay, you don't have to make millions on each product. You don't have to have millions in traffic coming in. It's like that. It's all a part of building something slow and sure, and you can do it now. This software puts AI right there in the seat next to you. You're still driving the car, but they're in the seat next to you, and they can bring to you the intelligence, the production, all at just very nominal cost, and do it in remarkable speed, so that you now have a true opportunity. If you want to go for it, it's like we've got the car ready. You want to jump in, and get behind the driver's seat and put the pedal to the metal. You can do it now. Okay, I don't think it was as easy before, but you can do it now.
You absolutely can. And the remarkable thing is that we have people as young as 13, 14, all the way up into the 70s and 80s that I'm aware of, and they're all doing it. So it's really open to everyone, and that's one of the things that I want to cover before we close here today, Dan. And that is, we are having a training coming up very, very soon. Can you tell folks what that free training is all about?
Yeah, it will give you a chance to kind of see what it would be like if you were to get in the driver's seat, and we'll map out each of the profit pathways that we've developed, and show you what the possibilities are. And we'll also show you examples, and you'll get to hear from some other people that are already doing this. And we do it in a very, very entertaining way. We actually thought we would have like a competition. This training that he's talking about, we actually have some film in there as well, where we show you a competition of the way, the way it's done traditionally, these different profit pathways, the way a lot of people are trying to do it by going out and just duct taping together various AI programs that are out there, or if they're using our profit pathways, where we've already got all the prompts in there and already kind of connected our technology to all of the most powerful technologies that are out there. And we actually do like a competition to give you a bird's eye view of what it's like, depending on how you decide to go about that. And it's really hard. Honestly, it's hard to look at it and say, well, I mean, who wouldn't want to go at it? But we don't even assume that. What we assume is that, look, we'll show you this, and then give you the opportunity to get in the driver's seat and give it a shot, and see if it's for you or not. And I think it will be, but it's gonna, at the end of the day, it's going to be up to you to make that decision. But it will give you the chance to see how powerful AI can be if done right. So that you can end up with high quality products, lots of buy buttons all over the web. And then you start, they used to talk about multiple streams of income. We're talking about multiple layers of income, because you're able to do incremental things and layer it all on top of each other, and get buy buttons all around the web, and just have a lot more flexibility than used to be. The only thing AI can't do, I wish it could, is like create a time machine that could take me back, so that I was like 30 years old. And I mean, it's just,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. We're working on it. We're working on it. But because I see so much opportunity for people now, you think that, hey, geez, now everybody's got it all figured out. And we thought we did, but all of a sudden AI has come in and changed the game. And so now you can do things literally that it used to take, older folks like me and Dan, used to take us, 10 years to do. You can do it in an afternoon now, and that's an amazing possibility. So in the training that we're going to put on, I'll just step you through, show you examples of the software. We'll compare, through our little competition that we do, and just try to give you a glimpse into what your future could be like if you were to get in the driver's seat behind something like that. And we already have lots of people that are doing it. So, join our big community. We help each other. We have fun. And you know, but we're still in the early phases. So you guys are coming in at a point in time where it's nothing but opportunity. That's really what you're looking at.
Absolutely. And, you know, I'll just put a kind of a finer point on that competition, especially for folks in my audience, because the profit pathway that Dan's chatting about here and what we actually put on in the competition, a children's book. Creating a children's book. Your mind will be blown how quickly you can create a quality children's book, and not just the book, but also all the marketing materials that go with it. So check out the link. It should be around here somewhere, and go ahead and register when you have the opportunity to do that. I'm not sure how long a replay will be available, so make sure that you do watch it when we do offer it. And I'm going to give you the floor for closing remarks here, Dan. Any other last minute question, or I should say, is there a question that I did not ask that I should have asked?
I think you asked a lot of. You can ask questions all day in this area because there's just so much to talk about. But as soon as you jump in and start doing it, then you realize, you know, how wonderful it can be. If you're reading things in the news, I subscribe to certain news feeds and stuff on topics I'm interested in, and I'm always getting these feeds and information about AI. It can get overwhelming. I mean, there's so much happening, and it's going so fast that it's like you just feel like, you know, even though this is all like in the last year, you feel like you're already, you know, you missed the boat. You know, you haven't. Okay. And the thing is that all of this stuff is coming out so fast, and things are moving so rapidly in AI that you just feel like, how can I get it all figured out? Well, that's what we've done. We've got it all figured out. We get rid of all of the fluff and the craziness, and we just boil it down into what could help you to create a pathway to profit, you know, and how can you actually do it without becoming a computer expert or a prompt expert or any kind of an expert. All you need to be is someone that's looking to make money online, someone that likes to kind of, you know, think of ideas and possibilities and just get in there and learn what we have to teach. You know, we've made it so that it's accessible to the common person. Okay. And you can just go at it. So if you have no business whatsoever and you've never made money online, you're at home here. If you've already got a business running, I'm sure you would like it to be more successful, right? Well, you got a home here because we can help you to do that. Anywhere in between. If you want to sell your own products that you create, or maybe you create products, or maybe you want to sell products like this, you know, where you can do affiliate marketing, whatever it may be, you're going to find that we put together the best of the best here and made it easy enough so that everyone could do it. So join the training. You know, we'll just go through and then I'll show you how you can get in the driver's seat and give it a test run. And that's it.
Yeah, it's definitely worth your time, effort, and energy to do this, to at least educate yourself on the opportunities, on what's available to you. Because right now you're probably thinking to yourself, well, I know that there are a lot of opportunities, but I'm just not sure how to access it, how to make it real in my own life. Well, this training will give you that answer. With that, Dan, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with our group here, and I want to see all of you on our training when it's available. So watch for that. We'll catch you later. Bye, everyone.